Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, part 2 of this series. I was helping somebody with his baseball get rid of this white, and I stated that the graphic wasn't very good. And if we look at this now, well, you just look at part 1 if you want to find out. I'm going to take a 3-point curve line, and I'm going to go from about right there to about right there, and I'm going to put a little curve on it. Holding down the control button, it'll be a perfect curve. Now I'm going to draw that stitch, and I'm going to take and do this all in one motion, so it'll be one line. I'm going to get the 2-point line, and I'm going to go from about right there and stop, and then go from right there and stop. So this is one piece. That's pretty important. Hit the plus key on your keyboard, move it anywhere up here, doesn't really matter. I'm going to put a little twist on it, more like it would be on the baseball. I've got my yellow lock, but I don't have the ring lock, so I have to come off the page, and, well, I'm not going to know if I want to get the path. If I don't select the entire path, or that path I'm going to use, it won't grab it. Then I'm going to go to Effects and Blend, and there's 14 of them, so I'm going to say 12. And then I'm going to get right here, I'm going to go blend along new path, put on the path, and then I'm going to go blend along full path, and I might have to rotate them. So I'm going to go blend along full path and rotate all objects. And that didn't work at all. So what I need to do is back up here to where I don't have a blend, and I need to angle this one a little bit more. Rotate just doesn't work. So that's, if you get up there, that's pretty close to what you want. If you get over here, that's pretty close to what you want. So let's select those two items, and you see I've got two objects selected, and I'm going to blend them, and then I'm going to blend, tell it the path to put it on, and see that's pretty good. And then I'm going to go blend along full path, and that's pretty good. Now I can grab it and go to Object and break blend apart, but I still have to go to Object and ungroup. Then I'm just going to take this stitch away, and I'm going to look real closely to this stitch, and I might move this stitch down a little bit because we're going to make this stitch a little thicker, so you could actually move them all kind of down, and if you wanted to redo it, don't really have to. Then I'm going to grab everything, and I'm going to make them, instead of a 1/2 point, I'm going to make them 1.5. It's not as wide as this thing, so I'm going to go 2 this time. Now we've got to go to Object and convert the outline to an object. And because if we don't do that, the same thing's going to happen earlier. If we fill this in, those are hairlines, so it's going to go past the part. So if we take and convert them to an object, convert the outline to an object, then it won't happen. So then I'm going to Control D and mirror it. While holding down the control button, I'm going to move that over till where it's about the same distance off. And you could play around that more or less. Now we want our nudge factor about on 4 inches. And even though those are black, it doesn't matter right now, because we're going to fill that in. Well, let's use black. Fill this in with black. Let me move this out of the way. Well, I'm glad I kept that, because I made the stitches a little bit thicker this time, and that's just personal preference, especially when you're doing that. And see, that saved me a little bit of time, because I need to fill in that one little gap right there, and it's very little, but it's really important. And I might even want to, if I was doing it for real, I might even move it down a little bit more. Now the question is, are these lines thick enough to, they're going to engrave this. So let's take, that yellow box is locked. So let's do both these and just see what the difference is. And just yesterday I put a behind layer, well, I use 2 different kinds. I do Corel 24 and Corel 22, and I've got it on the old one. This looks a little better. This actually looks probably more real, but when you're engraving, you don't want it to bleed over there. And I think that'll work right there for the person, because you don't want You want everything in yellow, meaning that there's nothing there. So when they bring in the bats, and I don't think we nudged. I didn't nudge those over. So what you could do if you wanted those same bats, I would put that back, group this together, and bring it over to your bat one. And I don't even know if the circle's the same size, but that's close enough for the video. And I'm going to keep moving it over, and then take your top of your bat, handle of your bat, and then fill those in with black, and you have your bat and a ball. And you can also shift select both and then turn them both black. But I think that's going to work. And I'm a little bit off here. I'd seriously think about, I'd run one tumbler. And if this is good, I'd leave it. If it's not, back them off a little bit, because you could get some bleeding. I just make sure they're all the same. And I am going to do that. What I would do in this scenario is Control G to group it, and I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. It's really a little bit more than that. So I'm going to just make that bat go straight up and down. Because then when I ungroup it, my nudge factor will help you. We'll set it like on 0.01, and we're going to nudge that down. What I would do is nudge it down till it touches. Nudge this one up till it touches. And then I'd set my nudge factor on like 0.1. And then I could nudge that up. See, that's too much. So let's go half of that, 0.05. And then nudge that up and nudge this down. And then rotate it again the other way. But you have to group it. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. And thank you for watching.